Hello everyone! Today we will be making tofu lettuce wraps. Here are the supplies that you will be needing today. A box grater, a small bowl, a cutting knife, a cutting board, a peeler, this is optional, a teaspoon, a tablespoon, a stirring utensil, I'm using a wooden spatula, a regular spoon, and a heavy bottom pan. I'm using a cast iron one. Here are the ingredients that you will need for this recipe. 8 ounces of extra firm tofu. You can find this in the produce section of your grocery store. It should come in a block. 8 ounces of baby Bella mushrooms, I'm using crumbled ones. You can also use whole mushrooms, just make sure you finely chop them using your knife or a food processor. 8 ounces of canned water chestnuts, mine are sliced, but the whole ones are also fine. 1 medium-sized carrot, 4 spring onions, 2 teaspoons of ginger paste, 4 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, and 1 head of any type of lettuce pre-separated. And now for our sauce, we will be using 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of roasted sesame seeds, this is optional. Now let's get cooking. Start by opening your tofu and draining out most of the water in the sink. Using a cheesecloth, wrap the tofu and place it on a plate under a form of weight. I'm using a stone mortar, but you can use pretty much anything, such as a heavy dish or even a brick. Just make sure it's clean. In the meantime, let's make our sauce. In a small bowl, start by adding in your hoisin sauce and soy sauce. Because hoisin sauce has a thick consistency and often sticks to the tablespoon, I like to use the soy sauce to wash it out. You can also do this by alternating between the two sauces when adding them into our bowl. Start with 1 tablespoon of the hoisin sauce and follow with 1 tablespoon of the soy sauce. You can repeat this until you have enough of each sauce. Next, add your rice vinegar and sesame oil. If there is still sauce on your tablespoon, feel free to use a small spoon to scrape it off and add it into the bowl. And now, mix everything together. Leave the completed sauce aside for later. Now it's time to prep our pan. Drizzle some oil on your pan. It's best to make a smooth spiral going inward. Heat up the pan on the medium setting. While the pan is heating up, unwrap the tofu and wring out the cloth. The tofu is full of moisture and we want to remove as much as we can from it. If you can, rewrap the tofu and repeat this step. Once the tofu is drained to the best of your ability, start to crumble it with your fingers. I like to first break it up into 4 pieces, break those chunks in half, and then go in to crumble. When you are crumbling, make sure to break up all the larger chunks and even out their size. You will know you are done when the tofu looks like this. Next, wash and peel your carrot to remove the outer layer. For this, you can use either a peeler or scrape it with a knife. Once you're done peeling, cut the top end off of the carrot and begin to grate it. As you get to the end of the carrot, be careful with where your hands are because you can cut yourself. Only grate as far as you are comfortable. After carrots, drain and chop up your canned water chestnuts. These will add crunch to the filling, so be sure not to cut them up too fine. You can start by taking your knife and chopping the chestnuts like so, alternating between horizontal and vertical cuts. You will know you are done chopping when the chestnuts have reached this size. After chestnuts, you can chop your spring onions and split them into 2 parts. Make sure to cut off the end with the roots and make the cuts about medium length. When you have reached the end of the white or light green part, leave that aside and continue with the greener part. We will be adding in the lighter end of the onion sooner than the greener one. Next, you can measure out 4 teaspoons of the minced garlic and add it to a small bowl. In the same bowl, add in 2 teaspoons of the ginger paste. There is no need to mix this. In another bowl, add your optional tablespoon of roasted sesame seeds. By now, the pan should be heated up and you can go ahead and add your crumbled tofu. It will make a loud sizzling sound, kind of like this. Beware of the splattering droplets of hot oil as a result of the cool moisture touching the hot pan. Start to stir and break up the larger pieces of tofu. Let it fry for around 5 to 6 minutes. The tofu should brown. Don't worry about it sticking to the bottom of the pan. That's where the crispy parts develop. Once the tofu looks something like this, you can add in your crumbled mushrooms. Because the mushrooms hold a lot of moisture, it will all need to be released and evaporated while it is cooking. This should take about 6 to 8 minutes. When the mushrooms start to look like this, you will know they are cooked and you can add in your ginger and garlic. Mix the paste for around 2 minutes. Be sure to distribute it evenly. After that, pour in the sauce that we made earlier and mix it until it gets bubbly. This added liquid should soften the crispy tofu stuck to the bottom of the pan and allow it to easily come off with the help of your stirring spoon. When the sauce is thoroughly warmed up, you can add in the white to light green parts of your spring onions. Make sure to save the darker green parts for later. Allow the onions to cook for 2 minutes before turning off the stove or removing the pan from the heat. Now it's time to add our garnish. First, add in the water chestnuts and carrots. I would recommend using bowls to store them during earlier steps in the recipe to stay more organized. Once the chestnut and grated carrot is mixed in, you can throw in the darker green parts of the spring onions that we were saving, along with the sesame seeds. Combine all of this and you finally finished cooking. When serving, take half a piece of lettuce and fill it up with our delicious filling. You can either eat it like a taco or wrap your first leaf with another on top for a burrito style. This tasty mixture also pairs well with jasmine rice. It makes a great appetizer or light snack. Hope you enjoy!